Welcome to Storytime English. Take a slow, deep breath. Relax your shoulders, unburden your mind, and settle into a quiet, peaceful space. Today, we embark on a profound hour-long journey across ancient time, back to the foothills of the Himalayas over 2,500 years ago. We will explore the extraordinary life of a young prince who surrendered a kingdom, worldly wealth, and absolute power to discover the true cause of human suffering and the path to ultimate inner peace. His name was Siddhartha Gautama. Later, the world would know him simply as the Buddha, the Awakened One. Before we step into the ancient city of Kapilavastu, let us pause for our first vocabulary spotlight. First, the word prophecy. A prophecy is a prediction or statement about what will happen in the future, often believed to come from a divine or spiritual source. Second, the word impermanence. Impermanence is the state or quality of lasting for only a limited period of time. The truth that all things change. Third, the word compassion. Compassion is a deep awareness of the suffering of another coupled with the wish to relieve it. Now let us turn back the pages of history to the 6th century before Common Era. In the fertile plains near the border of modern-day Nepal and India stood the kingdom of the Sakya clan. Their capital city was Kapilavastu, a bustling hub of culture, trade, and lush green agriculture. The kingdom was ruled by King Suddhodana, a proud and noble monarch, and his gentle queen Mayadevi. For many years, the royal couple longed for a child. One night, Queen Mayadevi had a vivid and legendary dream. In her dream, a beautiful white elephant with 6 tusks descended from the golden heavens, carrying a white lotus flower
in its trunk. The magnificent creature circled her 3 times and softly entered her right side. When wise seers and astrologers were called to interpret this royal dream, they made a historic prophecy.
The queen will give birth to a son of extraordinary greatness. If he chooses to remain in the palace, he will become a universal monarch, ruling over a vast empire. But if he chooses to leave the royal walls and witness the suffering of the world, he will become a fully enlightened teacher, a Buddha, who will light the path of truth for all humanity. Months later, while traveling toward her parental home, Queen Mayadevi paused in a tranquil garden in Lumbini. There, surrounded by blooming trees and singing birds, she gave birth to a healthy baby boy. They named him Siddhartha, which means he who achieves his goal. Tragically, just 7 days after giving birth, Queen Mayadevi passed away. Little Siddhartha was raised with deep warmth and affection by his mother's sister, Mahapajapati Gautami. King Suddhodana remembered the astrologer's dual prophecy vividly. Deep in his heart, the king did not want his son to become a wandering monk. He wanted Siddhartha to succeed him as a mighty ruler, a warrior king who would expand the Sakya kingdom. To prevent Siddhartha from seeing the harsh realities of life, the king constructed an artificial paradise. He built 3 magnificent palaces for the young prince, one for the cool winter, one for the hot summer, and one for the rainy monsoon season. Inside these towering marble walls, everything was designed to be perfect. The gardens were filled with sweet-scented flowers, crystal-clear ponds, and colorful birds. Only young, healthy, and beautiful servants were allowed near the prince. Old age, sickness, sadness, and death were strictly forbidden within the palace gates. Growing up, Prince Siddhartha lacked nothing. He was trained in the martial arts, archery, horse riding, and classical philosophy. He possessed a sharp mind and extraordinary grace. Yet, even as a young boy, those who observed him closely noticed something unusual, a deep, quiet stillness in his eyes. One spring afternoon, during the annual Royal Plowing Festival, young Siddhartha sat under the shade of a jambu tree, watching the farmers and oxen work in the fields. While others cheered at the festival, Siddhartha noticed something different. He saw the heavy oxen sweating under the hot sun, prodded by sharp sticks. He saw the sharp metal plow tearing through the earth, turning over the soil, and accidentally crushing small insects and worms. He watched birds swoop down from the sky to eat those helpless creatures. Instead of seeing a joyous festival, young Siddhartha saw the silent, interconnected chain of struggle in nature. A wave of profound empathy filled his heart. He sat cross-legged under the tree and naturally drifted into a state of deep, peaceful meditation. Seeing his son's contemplative nature, King Suddhodana grew even more concerned. He quickly arranged for Siddhartha to marry a brilliant, beautiful princess named Yashodhara. The young couple loved each other deeply, and in time, they had a sweet son named Rahula.
Siddhartha had everything a human heart could desire: wealth, power, a loving family, beauty, and absolute comfort. Yet, despite the music, the feast, and the silk robes, a quiet voice inside him kept asking, "Is this artificial happiness all that exists? What lies beyond these high palace walls?"
As Prince Siddhartha turned 29, the invisible walls of his gilded cage began to press against his soul. Despite the endless music, fine silk, and sweet perfumes of the palace, a quiet restlessness grew inside him. He decided it was time to step outside the royal estate and see the capital city of Kapilavastu with his own eyes. King Suddhodana, hearing of his son's desire, took extreme measures. He ordered the city streets to be decorated with bright flowers, colorful banners, and sweet incense. Any person who was old, sick, or grieving was ordered to remain indoors so that the young prince would see only joy, beauty, and prosperity. Siddhartha entered the city in a grand chariot driven by his loyal charioteer, Channa. As they rode through the cheering crowds, Siddhartha looked closely at the faces around him. For a short time, everything seemed perfect. But life cannot be entirely hidden behind banners and flowers. Let us pause for our second vocabulary spotlight. First, the word mortal. A mortal is a human being subject to death, something that cannot live forever. Second, the word ascetic. An ascetic is a person who practices severe self-discipline and abstains from all forms of indulgence for religious or spiritual reasons. Third, the word renunciation. Renunciation is the formal rejection or giving up of something, such as a belief, claim, or worldly position. As the chariot moved down a side street, Siddhartha's eyes caught a strange and disturbing sight. Sitting by the roadside was an ancient man. His back was deeply bent. His face was carved with deep wrinkles. His hair was as white as snow, and his hands trembled uncontrollably as he leaned heavily on a wooden walking stick. Siddhartha had never seen anyone like this inside his protected palace. Surprised and deeply moved, he turned to his charioteer and asked, "Channa, who is this man? Why is his body so bent and weak? Why does he tremble so?" Channa replied softly, "My lord, this is an old man. His body has been worn down by the passage of time. His youth is gone, his strength has faded, and his senses are dimming." Siddhartha absorbed these words with a heavy heart and asked, "Is this strange fate unique to this poor man, or does it happen to others as well?" "It happens to all living beings, my prince," Channa answered. "If a person lives long enough, old age is unavoidable. It comes to the rich, the poor, the peasant, and the king alike." The realization struck Siddhartha like a lightning bolt. Youth, beauty, and physical strength were temporary. He ordered Channa to turn the chariot back to the palace, unable to enjoy the festivities. A few days later, Siddhartha made a second journey into the city. This time, he saw a man lying on the dusty ground, groaning in agony. The man's skin was pale and feverish, his breathing was ragged, and he was completely helpless, clutching his stomach in pain. Siddhartha rushed toward him and asked Channa, "What ails this man? Why is he suffering so terribly?" "My prince, this man is sick," Channa explained. "He has been struck by a severe disease. Disease can enter any body without warning, robbing a person of health, comfort, and peace." Siddhartha stood silent, witnessing the fragility of human health. He realized that even the strongest body could be broken by illness at any moment. On his third trip into the city, Siddhartha witnessed a sight even more profound. A group of weeping relatives walked slowly down the street, carrying a rigid, lifeless body wrapped in cloth toward the riverbanks for cremation. Siddhartha stared in shock. "Channa, why is that person lying so still? Why are those people weeping?" "My lord, that person has died," Channa replied gently. "Life has left his body. His eyes will never see the sun again. His voice will never speak to his loved ones. Death is the ultimate end of all mortal life. No power, no wealth, and no status can escape it." Siddhartha felt an overwhelming sorrow, not just for himself, but for every living creature on earth. He saw clearly that all human happiness was fragile, constantly shadowed by old age, sickness, and death. He asked himself, what is the point of luxury and royalty if everything we love is eventually taken away by time? Deeply troubled, Siddhartha ventured out a fourth time. On this journey, he saw a man walking calmly through the noisy marketplace. The man wore simple yellow robes, carried a small bowl, and possessed no worldly belongings. Yet his face radiated an extraordinary sense of calm, dignity, and inner peace. Siddhartha stopped his chariot and asked, "Who is this peaceful man who walks with such grace among the crowds?" "He is an ascetic, my prince," Channa said. "He has renounced his home, his family, and worldly pleasures to search for truth, to master his mind, and to find a way beyond human suffering." That fourth sight ignited a powerful spark in Siddhartha's soul. He realized that the answers he sought could never be found inside a palace filled with luxuries. He needed to step into the unknown and discover the ultimate truth for himself. That night, the palace hosted a magnificent banquet in Siddhartha's honor. Dancers performed, musicians played soft melodies, and golden cups filled with wine flowed endlessly. But Siddhartha could not participate. He looked at the sleeping musicians later that night, seeing how their grace disappeared in sleep, and felt an urgent calling in his heart. He walked quietly into his wife's bedchamber. Princess Yashodhara was sleeping peacefully, her arm resting gently over their infant son Rahula. Siddhartha's heart was filled with intense love and aching sorrow. He longed to hold his newborn son one last time, but he feared that touching the child would wake his wife, and his resolve would crumble in tears. He stood at the doorway, whispering a silent blessing and a promise. "I am not leaving out of anger or lack of love. I am leaving to find a cure for the suffering of all humanity. If I find the truth, I will return to share it with you." Siddhartha stepped into the cool midnight air. He called his faithful servant Channa and his beloved white horse Kanthaka. Together, they slipped out of the silent palace gates under the cover of darkness. They rode swiftly through the night until they reached the banks of the Anoma River, far beyond the borders of his father's kingdom. There, at the edge of the river, Prince Siddhartha took off his golden crown, unbuckled his jewel-encrusted sword, and removed his fine silk robes. He drew his sword and cut his long royal hair. He handed his jewels and horse back to Channa, asking him to return to the palace with a message of peace for his family. Siddhartha traded his fine clothes for the rough, yellow robes of a poor hunter. Standing barefoot on the riverbank, the prince of Kapilavastu was gone. In his place stood a humble, penniless seeker of truth, ready to wander into the vast, unknown wilderness.
Barefoot and clad in simple, coarse robes, Siddhartha stepped into the vast forests of ancient India. He had walked away from silver platters, soft feather beds, and royal guards. Now, his dining bowl was filled with whatever scraps of food kind villagers offered him, and his bed was the cold, uneven earth beneath the whispering forest canopy. Yet, despite his physical poverty, Siddhartha felt a profound sense of liberation. The heavy crown of royalty was gone. He was no longer Prince Siddhartha. He was simply a pilgrim searching for the root of human suffering. To find answers, Siddhartha sought out the most renowned spiritual teachers of his era. He first traveled to the ashram of Alara Kalama, a master of meditation who taught him deep states of mental stillness and the philosophy of nothingness. Siddhartha mastered these advanced meditative states with remarkable speed, matching his master's wisdom in a short time. Yet, when he returned to normal awareness, Siddhartha realized that while his mind was temporarily calm during deep meditation, the underlying reality of human suffering, sickness, and death remained unsolved. He then traveled to another great teacher, Uddaka Ramaputta, who taught him even higher levels of refined mental concentration. Again, Siddhartha quickly mastered the teachings. But once again, he felt that these deep meditative states were only temporary escapes, not a permanent cure for the human condition. Thanking his teachers with deep respect, Siddhartha realized he had to forge his own path. Let us pause for our third vocabulary spotlight. First, the word austerity. Austerity refers to sternness, severity, or extreme self-denial and simplicity in living conditions. Second, the word equilibrium. Equilibrium is a state of physical or emotional balance, stability, and calm. Third, the word middle way. In Buddhist philosophy, the middle way is the balanced path between extreme luxury and extreme self-denial. Siddhartha journeyed deep into the forest of Uruvela, near the banks of the Niranjana River. There, he joined 5 other earnest ascetics, who believed that the human soul could only be liberated by completely crushing the physical body. They believed that physical desires, hunger, and pain were chains holding the mind back. Therefore, to conquer the mind, one had to conquer and punish the physical body. Siddhartha threw himself into these extreme practices with absolute determination. For 6 long years, he subjected himself to severe austerities that pushed the human body to its ultimate limits. He practiced holding his breath for long periods until intense headaches throbbed through his skull. He exposed his body to the scorching heat of the summer sun during the day and sat in freezing river waters during the icy winter nights. Most severe of all was his fasting. Day after day, Siddhartha reduced his food intake. Eventually, he was eating only a single grain of rice, or a tiny seed per day. His body transformed drastically. His muscular, athletic frame withered away. His ribs pressed tightly against his skin like the rafters of a collapsed roof. His spine looked like a chain of wooden knots. His eyes sank deep into his skull like water at the bottom of a deep well, and his skin turned dark and dry like a withered lotus leaf. When he touched his stomach, he could feel his backbone. When he brushed his hand over his limbs, the hairs fell away from his skin due to severe malnutrition. The 5 ascetics who watched him were filled with awe. They thought, "This man is a true spiritual warrior." He will surely attain enlightenment before anyone else. Yet, after 6 years of grueling torture, Siddhartha lay collapsed on the dusty ground near the river, too weak to stand. He was hovering on the very edge of death. As he lay there in total physical exhaustion, a quiet realization washed over his mind. He examined his inner state. Was his mind free? Was he closer to understanding the ultimate truth? The answer was no. His body was so weakened that his mind was cloudy and exhausted. The extreme pain had not brought peace. It had only created a different form of fixation and struggle. He had experienced extreme luxury in the palace, and now he had experienced extreme deprivation in the forest. Neither extreme had led him to freedom. At that critical moment, a sweet memory from his childhood floated into his mind, that peaceful spring afternoon sitting under the jambu tree during the royal ploughing festival. He remembered how he had naturally entered a quiet, joyous state of meditation, not through painful self-torture or luxurious indulgence, but through gentle, calm awareness. Just then, a young village woman named Sujata walked by the forest path. She was carrying a golden bowl filled with sweet milk rice, which she had prepared as an offering of gratitude to the forest spirits. Seeing the gaunt, starving ascetic sitting beneath a tree, looking like a living skeleton, Sujata's heart melted with deep compassion. She knelt softly before Siddhartha and offered him the bowl of sweet milk rice. Siddhartha looked at the food, then at the kind eyes of the village woman. He realized that to continue his search for truth, he needed a healthy body to support a clear mind. He reached out his trembling hands and accepted the meal. As he ate the warm, nourishing milk rice, life and warmth flowed back into his veins. His mind cleared, and his physical strength began to return. However, when his 5 ascetic companions saw Siddhartha eating solid food, they felt deeply disappointed. They believed he had abandoned his spiritual vows and given up the fight. Siddhartha has fallen, they whispered among themselves. He has returned to a life of comfort. Leaving him behind, the 5 ascetics walked away toward the city of Varanasi. Siddhartha was now completely alone. He had no teachers, no companions, no palace, and no traditional ascetic practices to rely on. He walked down to the Niranjana river, bathed his revitalized body in the cool, flowing water, and let his empty golden bowl float downstream. He knew that the final stage of his journey had arrived. He walked towards a majestic, ancient fig tree, the tree that would forever be known to history as the Bodhi tree. Siddhartha placed a handful of fresh green grass at the base of the tree, sat down cross-legged, facing east, and made a firm, unshakable vow. Skin, sinew, and bone may dry up, and my flesh and blood may dry away, but I will not rise from this seat until I have attained full, ultimate enlightenment. The sun began to dip below the horizon, casting long, peaceful shadows across the forest of Gaia. Beneath the spreading canopy of the great Bodhi tree, Siddhartha sat motionless in deep meditation. His mind was clear, his body was nourished, and his heart was filled with absolute resolve. As the quiet of twilight settled over the earth, legend tells of a great battle that took place, not on a physical battlefield with swords and shields, but within the deep realms of human consciousness. Mara, the lord of illusion, desire, and fear, recognized that Siddhartha was on the verge of breaking free from the cycle of ignorance. If Siddhartha achieved ultimate wisdom, the power of illusion over humanity would be shattered forever. Determined to stop him, Mara unleashed his formidable forces. First, Mara sent storms of fear and doubt. Violent winds howled through the forest, dark shadows danced around the tree, and terrifying visions filled the air. But Siddhartha remained still, untouched by fear. He recognized that fear is merely a temporary projection of the mind, with no true reality of its own. Next, Mara tried the allure of desire. He sent visions of breathtaking beauty, worldly power, endless wealth, and the sensory pleasures of his former royal life. But Siddhartha looked past the enticing illusions, seeing them as fleeting and impermanent. His mind remained as steady as a deep, unshakable mountain. Finally, Mara stepped forward himself to deliver the ultimate challenge. "Siddhartha," Mara spoke with a booming voice, "by what right do you sit beneath the tree of wisdom? Who is here to testify to your worthiness? Where are your witnesses?" Siddhartha did not speak a word. He softly reached down his right hand and touched the earth beneath him. In response, the earth itself vibrated with a deep, thunderous resonance, declaring, "I am his witness." Through countless lifetimes of selfless giving, patience, and virtue, he has earned the right to realize the truth. Defeated, Mara's illusions dissolved into thin air like morning mist before the rising sun. The inner battle was won, leaving only pure, undisturbed silence. Let us pause for our fourth vocabulary spotlight. First, the word enlightenment. Enlightenment is a state of spiritual awakening, profound understanding, and complete freedom from ignorance and suffering. Second, the word causality. Causality is the relationship between cause and effect, the principle that every action creates a corresponding result. Third, the word nirvana. Nirvana is the ultimate state of liberation, peace, and freedom from the cycle of craving and suffering. With the forces of illusion silenced, Siddhartha entered deeper and deeper states of meditative absorption as the night unfolded. During the first watch of the night, his mind opened to the vast memory of his past existences. He saw the infinite chain of cause and effect, how actions, choices, and intentions in past lives shape present conditions. He saw that all living beings are bound together in a continuous web of existence. During the second watch of the night, Siddhartha gained the heavenly eye. He perceived the cosmic order of the universe, how beings pass away and are reborn according to their karma. He saw that suffering is not a random punishment, but a natural result of ignorance, attachment, and harmful actions. During the third watch of the night, as the morning star appeared on the eastern horizon, Siddhartha uncovered the Four Noble Truths. He realized the ultimate reality of existence. He saw clearly that human life contains suffering, that suffering is caused by craving, attachment, and ignorance, that suffering can be completely ended, and that there is a practical, structured path leading to the cessation of suffering. At that moment, the final veils of ignorance fell away completely. The darkness of delusion vanished. The three poisons of the human mind, greed, hatred, and delusion, were extinguished forever like a flame blowing out in the wind. His mind attained absolute freedom, boundless compassion, and unshakable peace. Prince Siddhartha Gautama was no more. He had become the Buddha, the awakened one. A gentle earthquake rippled across the land, flowers bloomed out of season, and a soft golden light illuminated the forest. The Buddha sat beneath the Bodhi tree for 7 days in silence, drinking in the sweetness of liberation. He felt a deep, profound gratitude for the earth, the tree, the river, and all living things. Yet, a subtle question arose in his mind: This truth I have realized is deep, subtle, and difficult to perceive. It goes against the worldly habits of craving and attachment. Will people be able to understand it? Or will teaching it bring only exhaustion? Legend states that Brahma Sahampati, a noble spirit representing universal wisdom, appeared before the Buddha, bowed respectfully, and said, "Lord, please teach the path of truth. There are beings in this world with only a little dust in their eyes. If they do not hear the truth, they will remain lost. But if they hear it, they will understand and find freedom." The Buddha looked out at the world with eyes full of deep compassion. He saw humanity like lotus flowers growing in a muddy pond. Some lotuses were buried deep in the mud, some were rising through the water, and some were standing high above the water, ready to bloom the moment the sunlight touched them. Knowing there were those ready to awaken, the Buddha made his decision. Open are the doors to the deathless. Let those who have ears to hear step forward with faith. He stood up from his seat beneath the Bodhi tree, ready to walk across the dusty roads of ancient India to share his realization with the world. With his heart overflowing with peace and boundless compassion, the Buddha set out on foot from the forest of Gaya. He decided to seek out his former companions, the 5 ascetics, who had abandoned him when he accepted the meal of milk rice from Sujato. He knew they were residing near the ancient city of Varanasi, in the peaceful surroundings of the deer park at Sarnath. The Buddha walked slowly along the dusty roads. As he passed through towns and villages, people noticed a remarkable aura around him. His presence radiated a quiet dignity, clarity, and stillness that instantly calmed those who crossed his path. When the 5 ascetics saw him approaching Deer Park from a distance, they felt conflicted. They whispered to one another, "Look, there comes Siddhartha. He abandoned our strict vows and returned to a life of comfort. Let us not bow to him or offer him special honor. We will merely offer him a seat if he wishes to sit." However, as the Buddha walked closer, his quiet grandeur and peaceful energy were overwhelming. Without realizing it, the 5 ascetics broke their own resolve. One rushed forward to take his begging bowl, another brought cool water to wash his feet, and a third prepared a comfortable seat for him. They looked at his face and remarked in wonder, "Friend, your eyes are clear, your skin glows with a golden light, and your mind is profoundly still. Have you found the truth?" The Buddha replied gently, "Do not call me Siddhartha or friend, for I am the Buddha, one who has awakened to the ultimate truth. Listen carefully, for the path to freedom from suffering has been discovered." Sitting under the open sky surrounded by grazing deer, the Buddha delivered his very first sermon, known to history as turning the wheel of the law, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. Let us pause for our 5th vocabulary spotlight. First, the word attachment. Attachment is an emotional or mental clinging to people, objects, ideas, or desires, often leading to suffering when things change. Second, the word mindfulness. Mindfulness is the psychological state of active, open attention on the present moment, observing thoughts and feelings without judgment. Third, the word integrity. Integrity is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles. The Buddha explained that a seeker of truth must avoid 2 extreme paths. One extreme is a life devoted to sensory indulgence and luxury, which is worldly and leads nowhere. The other extreme is a life of severe self-torture and extreme denial, which causes pain and darkens the mind. Instead, the Buddha offered the middle way, a practical, balanced path that leads to peace, insight, and ultimate liberation. He then presented the Four Noble Truths. The first noble truth is the existence of suffering, dukkha. Life involves moments of physical pain, grief, aging, sickness, and loss. Even moments of pleasure carry a subtle sadness, because they are impermanent and eventually pass away. The second noble truth is the origin of suffering, the samudaya. Suffering is not caused by fate or angry deities. It is rooted in our own craving, attachment, and ignorance, our constant desire for things to be different from how they actually are. The third noble truth is the cessation of suffering, nirodha. Suffering can be completely ended by letting go of ignorance, craving, and selfish attachment, leading to the ultimate peace of nirvana. The fourth noble truth is the practical path leading to the end of suffering, magga, the Noble Eightfold Path. The Buddha outlined this Eightfold Path as a practical guide for daily life, structured into three main pillars: wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline. 1. Right view, understanding the nature of reality, impermanence, and cause and effect. 2. Right intention, cultivating thoughts of goodwill, compassion, and non-attachment. 3. Right speech, speaking truthful, kind, and helpful words, avoiding lies, gossip, and harsh language. 4. Right action, acting with moral integrity, avoiding harm to any living creature. 5. Right livelihood, earning an honest living through work that does not cause harm to others. 6. Right effort, cultivating positive qualities in the mind while overcoming harmful thoughts. 7. Right mindfulness, maintaining calm, clear awareness of the present moment, our body, feelings, and thoughts. 8. Right concentration, developing a focused, tranquil mind through steady meditation. As the Buddha explained these timeless principles, the minds of the 5 ascetics opened. The clouds of doubt vanished from their hearts, and they became his first disciples. The wheel of truth had begun to turn. Over the next 45 years, the Buddha traveled endlessly across ancient India. Barefoot and carrying his simple wooden bowl, he walked from village to village, city to city, through rain, heat, and cold. He did not teach only kings, scholars, or priests. He welcomed everyone with equal warmth and compassion: peasant farmers, merchants, outcasts, warriors, children, and women. In a society deeply divided by caste, wealth, and birth, the Buddha taught that true human greatness is not determined by birth or social status, but by one's actions, character, and purity of heart. As his community of monks and nuns grew, his message of peace, mindfulness, and active compassion spread like a gentle wave across the subcontinent. Throughout his 45 years of teaching, the Buddha rarely used complex or dry theological arguments. Instead, he shared practical wisdom through gentle parables, daily observations, and direct personal interactions that deeply touched the human heart. One of his most famous encounters was with a grieving woman named Gautama. Gautama's young, only son had suddenly fallen ill and passed away. Overwhelmed by unbearable grief, she refused to accept his death. Holding the cold body of her child in her arms, she ran frantically from house to house in the village, begging people for medicine to bring her child back to life. The villagers looked at her with pity and whispered, "She has lost her mind. The child is dead." Finally, a kind villager advised her, "Go to the Buddha, who is staying near the village. He may have the medicine you seek." Gautama rushed to the Buddha, placed her child's body at his feet, and wept bitterly, "Lord, please give me the medicine that will cure my child." The Buddha looked at her with deep compassion and said softly, "I can help you, but you must bring me a single mustard seed. However, it must come from a home where no child, parent, spouse, or friend has ever died." Filled with hope, Kisa Gautama ran back to the village. She went to the first house and asked, "Do you have a mustard seed? And has anyone ever died in this house?" The family replied, "We have plenty of mustard seeds, but alas, my father passed away last year." She went to a second house, but they said, "A few months ago, we lost our grandmother." She went to a third house, a fourth, and a fifth, walking through every home in the town. Everywhere she went, the answer was the same: the living were few, but the dead were many. There was not a single household that had not been touched by the pain of loss. As dusk settled, Kisa Gautama sat by the roadside, watching the city lights flicker and extinguish one by one in the darkness. At that moment, a quiet clarity filled her heart. She realized the profound truth: death is universal. Grief is not a solitary burden unique to her. Impermanence touches every living family on earth. She returned to the Buddha with empty hands, but with a peaceful, transformed mind. She bowed deeply and said, "Lord, the work of the mustard seed is done. My heart understands." Let us pause for our final vocabulary spotlight. First, the word parable. A parable is a simple story used to illustrate a moral or spiritual lesson. Second, the word equanimity. Equanimity is mental calmness, composure, and evenness of temper, especially in difficult situations. Third, the word legacy. A legacy is something handed down from an ancestor or predecessor to future generations. Another profound lesson the Buddha taught was the power of anger and how to overcome it. Once, a bitter and jealous man approached the Buddha while he was meditating under a tree and began shouting harsh insults at him. The man cursed him, called him names, and attempted to provoke him into an argument. The Buddha listened quietly, his face remaining completely peaceful and calm. He did not react with anger, defensiveness, or resentment. When the angry man finally ran out of breath, he asked in frustration, "Why do you not answer me? Are you not angry at my insults?" The Buddha smiled gently and asked a simple question: if you purchase a gift for someone, and that person refuses to accept it, to whom does the gift belong? The man replied, "It belongs to the person who bought it, of course." The Buddha nodded softly, "In the same way, you have brought your anger and harsh words to me. I choose not to accept them. Therefore, they remain yours to keep." The angry man stood in silence, realizing that anger only burns the person who holds onto it. He fell to his knees and asked for forgiveness. As the years passed, the Buddha reached the age of 80. His physical body grew frail, but his mind remained as luminous, clear, and peaceful as ever. He knew his earthly journey was coming to its natural end. He traveled with his close disciple, Ananda, to the quiet groves of Kushinagar. There, between two tall sal trees, he lay down on his right side, resting his head on his hand, completely calm and composed. Ananda stood beside him, weeping softly, "Lord, what will become of us when you are gone? Who will guide us?" The Buddha looked at Ananda with profound affection and said, "Do not weep, Ananda. Have I not taught you from the very beginning that everything that is born must eventually change and pass away? Do not rely on me as a physical refuge. Be a lamp unto yourselves. Hold fast to the truth within you as your guide. He turned to the gathered community of monks and nuns for his final words. Decay is inherent in all compound things. Strive on with diligence and mindfulness. With those final peaceful words, the Buddha entered deep meditation and passed away quietly into parinirvana, the ultimate state of peace beyond birth and death. The legacy of Prince Siddhartha, the Buddha, did not end under the sal trees of Kushinaga. His teachings of mindfulness, non-violence, inner peace, and active compassion spread across mountain ranges, oceans, and continents, transforming millions of lives across millennia. For us as language learners and human beings traveling through our own daily lives, the Buddha's story offers a timeless inspiration. Peace is not something we find by fleeing reality or surrounding ourselves with external comfort. True peace is cultivated from within, by mastering our thoughts, letting go of useless cravings, acting with moral integrity, and treating every living being with kindness. No matter where you are on your personal journey, remember that transformation begins with a single conscious breath and a single step of awareness. Thank you for spending this hour with us on Storytime English. Take a moment now to sit in stillness. Reflect on the Buddha's final message. How can you be a light unto yourself in your daily life? If this 1-hour journey brought peace, clarity, and learning to your day, please give this video a like, leave your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe to our peaceful community. Until next time, stay mindful, keep learning, and take care.